Assalamu alaikum. The second lesson today is regarding finding trigonometric ratios without the use of a calculator. Now, whenever we are working without using a calculator, you need to remember the special trigonometric ratios of 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. This is something we have already covered when we were completing exercise 10.1. So how do we go about finding these values without using a calculator? Remember that this question is about reciprocal trigonometric functions. So a quick recap: cosec is simply the reciprocal of sine. Sec is simply the reciprocal of cos. And cot is a reciprocal of tan. So after we've recalled our basics and we have this picture here which is going to help us to find out the basic trigonometric ratios of 45 degrees, 30 degree, and 60 degree, we are now going to start working on these different problems. To find out sec 60, we simply need to write this first as our basic trig function, which is 1 over cos 60. We know from this picture here that cos of 60 is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Cos 60 is 1 over 2, as you can see from the picture there. So if cos 60 is 1 over 2, the reciprocal is going to be 2 over 1, which is 2. In a similar fashion, let's find out what is cosec negative 30. Cosec of negative 30 simply means 1 upon sine of negative 30. It's important to understand where is this angle, because then we will identify whether it's going to be a positive value or a negative sine value. Negative 30 happens to be a clockwise angle in the fourth quadrant right there. This angle here is a negative 30 degrees if measured in the clockwise direction. What is the value of alpha here? The value of alpha is a positive 30 degrees. Since this is in the fourth quadrant, the value of sine is going to be a negative value. So putting the negative sign first, we understand that sine of negative 30 is the same as sine of 30, the numerical value at least. And sine of 30 from this picture here, sine of 30 simply means opposite and adjacent, which is going to be 1 over 2. Since we are finding 1 over sine of negative 30, we are only going to reciprocate this value there, which is going to be a negative 2 over 1. I hope this is clear. Let's do another one to help you understand what happens if you are in a quadrant which is beyond 180 degrees. Let's do 7e, which is cot of 330. To find out cot 330 degrees, again, it's a good idea to understand which quadrant is this angle in. 330 happens to be in the fourth quadrant. And the basic angle with 330 is at 30 degrees. So cot 330 is the same as cot of 30 degrees. And not only that, we know that cot is the reciprocal of tan. And tan in the fourth quadrant happens to be is going to be a negative. Therefore, cot 30 should be a negative value. So negative 1 over tan 30. So what is tan 30 from the basic special angles that we have already learned? Tan 30 happens to be 1 over under root 3. So if tan 30 is 1 over under root 3, 1 upon tan 30, or the reciprocal of tan 30, will be root 3 upon 1. And remember, this is a negative value, so don't forget to put the negative sign. I hope this is clear. Whenever a question wants you to solve questions without using a calculator, remember you are always going to use the ratios you learned for the special angles 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. I hope you have learned well. Good luck with solving the questions.